Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Andy Lambert Show. I'm your host and voice of Warrior Sports, Scott Hogan. And if you missed it last Saturday afternoon, boy, what a game we were treated to. A defensive battle between Sterling and Peru State, and the Warriors score 14 unanswered points in the second quarter to come from behind to win 17-10. When the season began, and Coach Saturday, we talked some about this in the post-game portion. That 17-10 come from behind victory. I think one thing we found out about your team is how well they can respond to adversity, because there was certainly a lot of it when you were down 10-3 early in the third.
Yeah, adversity is kind of a funny thing. You want to respond well to it, but you want to limit the the amount of adversity that you have to overcome. And so when adversity is self-inflicted, then that's not always a great thing. And so there was a real balance, I think, on Saturday between our team playing with what we consider great courage and heart, and to really staying in the hunt the whole game. That was on the positive side, but on the negative side, we kind of put ourselves in that hole. And so we want to take the good and continue to build on it and reduce the bad. And so that's something that we've attempted to do this week in practice.
Your running attack, not quite the success I think you'd like to have. 46 carries, 131 yards, but when you needed big rushes, you got it. Richard, 18 for 72 and a touchdown. Bundridge, 11 for 41, and then Keoki Burbank made two really nice runs when you went to more of a spread formation to run the option. He had 6 for 36, so I guess maybe efficient would be a good word when you needed it.
Well, on the three drives that we really liked on Saturday, we did a super job. But I think we had 6 or 7 3-and-outs. We had a score in the we had the long drive in the first quarter. I think it was 18 or 19 plays, and then we went 2 3-and-outs right after that. The touchdown drive in the second quarter that was long again. It was up over 12 plays, and then we go 3 3-and-outs after that. So it wasn't necessarily the running game. We were really in rhythm. We were really in sync with what we wanted to do, even on in our passing game. But we just, quite frankly, got off the field too much. And so we had a holding call. We had a delay call on a kind of a 4th and manageable. We were going to go for it. We got ourselves in a bind on a couple other first down plays. And so I think that the lack of, if you're looking at total yardage rushing, probably was more about us not getting enough plays than it was about what we were doing up front. And so, without a shadow of a doubt, that was probably the most disappointing part of the offensive day, was that we weren't able to come back after those long drives and sustain another drive. Even if you get 6 or you get 9 plays, you change field position again, and then that's just more plays that you're running, obviously. So that was probably, as we evaluated on paper deeply offensively, what the day was about. It really was about way too many 3-and-outs.
And it splits 2 guys to get the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought our whole special forces group that we call them had a good game. We're still kind of working through some personnel decisions and who we want to play where and how that balances with our best players on offense and defense. And so I think we've still got another stage to go through with that as we evaluate practice this week. But with our return game, and then that punt team was just outstanding this week, and Josh was a big part of that. I mean, I think even with the punts down inside the 20 and a couple inside the 10, he still had a good average, and we really did win the hidden yardage game on Saturday, and quite frankly might be the main storyline of the entire game.
Welcome back to the Andy Lambert Show. It's time to turn our attention to this week's opponent, the Ottawa Braves. Ottawa comes in 2-1 on the season. They come off of, boy, it's hard to describe if it's a humiliating or depressing loss for the Braves, but 56-24. They went to McPherson on Saturday and actually was behind 56-10 late in the fourth quarter in that game before, against McPherson's second team. They got a couple of late touchdowns. Coach, this team is, of course, known for offense first. They set some records last year with their offense. Different quarterback this season. They are still a good offense. 293 yards they're averaging passing, just 55 rushing. When you prepared or started to prepare for this game this week, have you seen a lot of similarities between last year's Brave team and this one, or have you seen quite a few differences?
Well, they're the same team, and they always, I think, kind of want to be. 3 years ago, I think they sort of started with this group of guys that were seniors last year and now this year. So they had a class of a group that came in 2 consecutive years. They only lose 4 starters off of an excellent defense, and so really the defensive, not just scheme, but personnel are very similar to who they've played the last 2 years, not just last season. And offensively, of course, they lose a couple big name guys off last year's team, but they have a Division II transfer in, a big old tall raw bone kid with a great arm, and certainly then I'm sure you'll have this on the list, but number 7 for Ottawa is if not, he's one of the top offensive playmakers with football in our conference, and so they're very similar. They are a program that has now become established, and so they have confidence and belief and play extremely hard, and nothing really has changed other than just some people in different positions this season.
Well, welcome back to the Andy Lambert Show one final time this evening. Coach, last year the Ottawa Braves came in here nationally ranked, and we went into the 4th quarter up 21-7 before that Ottawa offense got going and made a late comeback to win by 2. So a near upset last year, going up there this year. Maybe this is the year that upset comes to fruition.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, again, last year's game has no bearing on the playing of this year's game, and so we don't dwell on that. We're not a revenge team at any kind of level or anything like that. So we've got to go up. We know, within reason what they're going to do, who they're going to do it with. We have the same perspective going into the football game. So, it's going to be, we're looking forward to the trip. We like to kind of get out of town a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit of different travel arrangements and try to walk through maybe in Emporia and eat there. So it's going to be a fun day for our program. And then what a great test, for our team. And that's really how we look at it on Saturday. We want to play the best. We love the challenge of playing them there in front of what we hope is a super great crowd, and just really enjoying that experience. We want to enjoy the competitive experience in any context, and so this is a really good test for our program, one that we're looking forward to, and we certainly want to play well.
A beautiful facility, beautiful campus. It's going to be an evening, early fall game, and I'm excited to get there. So our schedule on Saturday, that is a 6 o'clock kickoff. So our pregame will begin around 5:40, and then it's 6. This has become a game between 2 nationally ranked opponents, the number 15 rated Ottawa Braves and the newly rated number 25 Sterling Warriors. So nationally ranked opponents will go at it at Ottawa at 6 o'clock on Saturday. It should be a tremendously competitive and great ball game. We're really looking forward to that. So join us at 5:40 on Saturday for a 6 o'clock kickoff, Ottawa and Sterling on HKFM and sterling.edu. Coach, thanks for coming in as always, and it's been a great evening. That's a wrap on tonight's show. This is Scott Hogan saying, God bless and keep you safe. Have a great evening, everyone.